Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday. Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize it was Friday.
It's Friday.
Be sure to turn the music off.
Hmm.
Issa Beast.
Fancy Friday.
Fancy Friday. We're here. No chiropractor, but
Just our lattes.
no latte. Today, Raina did not make my latte, so it just looks like coffee milk. Show your latte.
Oh, I already drank the
design.
special design, so it looks like yours.
Oh, mine did look fancy. No, it didn't. It looked like something else.
Oh, you switched. I'm used to looking at myself to the left. You switched it today.
Are you? What was this? Is it that way?
Yeah. You're choking. Oh God.
I thought it was the other way.
No, it's always this way, but that's all right. It was a new look. I just noticed a difference.
It's because I have glasses on.
It's opposite day today. No.
Yeah, put me in the front part. Yeah, I swallowed the coffee wrong.
Wow, you did that in real time too.
I know.
As it almost came through your eyes.
I know. Right there, it was squirting on the glasses. Like, I can't see.
Start to the Friday.
Yeah. It's a full moon Friday too. So strawberry.
That's probably why you were choking.
Yeah, most likely. Full moon, strawberry moon. The next one will be in 40 years or 20.
Yeah, so if you're out in upstate New York, it's going to be around 9 o'clock is the optimal viewing time.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be really beautiful. And what's the history on the strawberry moon? I guess
it's a Native American.
It's a strawberry moon because it aligned with the short harvest of the strawberries. And I think there's some history about honey too.
Yeah, I think that the Native Americans named each moon related to the harvest that they were doing. Like there was like I don't know, I'm just gonna make stuff up. The potato moon, soup moon, bread moon. So today we're going to talk about The Sign. And as you heard, I saw The Sign. Issa Beast had a lovely song. They had a few different hits. They were a multi-hit wonder, but then disappeared into the Australian woods, I believe. That's what happened to them. They just disappeared.
I love that song. It was such a big song in my childhood.
Yeah.
I remember listening to it. It was always on the radio. One of those classics.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about how you make sure to observe the signs around you.
This coffee.
Especially when it comes to Google.
Yeah, and swallowing your coffee. Yeah, I have some things to share. So let me put up the screen here so you can stop looking at my choking face. That's not the right one. But this is the right one. You want to go over the National Day first?
Yeah, that's what.
So I kind of had these in order here. So today, the big one, I believe, before we go into the National Day, it's not even on that list somehow, but it's the International Day of Yoga.
Yay, namaste.
Namaste.
All my yogis out there.
I'm a partial yogi. I stretch more than do yoga. But Raina is into yoga.
Yes,
which makes her a yogi.
I am a yogi, and I'm going to try to do some yoga today. I usually do it in the morning, but today was a little bit of a slow morning for me. So,
yeah, same. Other days we have national. I never know how to say this. Wagyu. I never even eaten it. It's too expensive.
I don't even know what that is.
Like Japanese steak, I believe. National.
Well, it's National Selfie Day, which is
National Selfie Day.
Healthy.
We can do it right here. Ready? 5.
With the screenshot.
Yeah. 4. Do you want to do it?
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get National. Oh, with our phones? You're supposed to do it with our phone.
But yeah, but we just do
it. We'll do it with the screenshot. All right. Cheese. All right, I did it.
Okay, good.
I think we should do like something like that.
Like an actual one?
Yeah, like national.
National Selfie Day. We got National Day of the Gong. National Take Your Dog to Work Day. We don't have a dog. National Skateboarding Day. I used to kind of skateboard, but I had a hard time turning. National Daylight Appreciation Day, because yesterday or today was the longest day of the year because it was the solstice. National Peaches and Cream. I was gonna pick that song but the sign makes more sense. Yeah, National Arizona Day in Arizona. I remember getting off a plane there and them saying, "Welcome to Arizona. The temperature is 119 degrees." I was, oh no, I didn't bring shorts.
When did you go to Arizona?
It was a layover into somewhere. I didn't stay there. Hot. Yeah, it was just the airport. And
you're missing the most important national day, which is World Day of Music.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where is it? It's
in my document.
Yeah, it's sort of in the document, but it's the National Day of Music. Yay! Music it used to be more important to me. I used to say music is everything. It's become less of everything, but it's definitely a big part of my life.
Yeah, music is important. It helps everything, I think. Improves your brain, and it really does do something to your creativity.
Some of it.
Yeah, it depends on what type of music you're listening to. Actually, the music that I listen to helps kind of zen myself out and also to just relax. And
the music I listen to is a mixture. I'm into a lot of heavy stuff. The heavier the better, but it has to be cohesive. I don't like this messy. I don't like anything messy. Web or music. If it doesn't make sense or it's too pretentious, forget it. I'm out. I'm very judgy with music. So happy International Day of Music. Oh, let's get back to the article. What am I doing?
Oh.
So we have.
You zoomed all the way in and I'm seeing the article. You gotta zoom out.
What? I'm zoomed out.
No, you're not. You're look at my screen.
I don't know why you see that. You're zoomed.
No, I'm not controlling anything.
Oh.
Oh wait.
I don't know. I'm looking at it.
All right.
All right. So we zoom back out to 0. Google also is zooming back out. This is about the AI. We'll get over this one first before we get back to the main topic at hand. So Google is dialing back. It said that it's been down even over the last month, 52%. So this is in terms of when you're searching for something like how many rocks per day should I eat? Google is saying, hey, I'm not going to show you a lot of things that are related to healthcare, thankfully, because it was telling people to eat rocks. It was stuff that's important. It said that it's going to dial back because it can't obviously verify it. AI can't verify it. It's using a lot of data to give you an answer, So it dialed back on the results that is given with AI to give more organic results, which is pretty cool. I can go through this article there, but excuse me, this coffee is still in my throat. So it's pretty much saying that 8% of searches now trigger an AI overview, which is down 52% since January. That's a lot, right? I think they tested it out and they're like, but I'm sure it'll come back. One thing that this does mean, I think, for normal people that have normal sites is that you won't be competing with those AI results as much, at least during this time, right?
What I think also the biggest takeaway is when they do show the AI overview, it's going to be a longer content. And what that means for your business is that when it comes to your content, you should find ways to add more value to it, take the time, because you have to kind of compete with what's going on right now. So it will be more thorough in its overview. It won't show as often, but it's going to be longer, thorough content. So that's something that you should think about for your content.
Yeah, and it summarizes it. It's not going to use all your content. So the more content and the more information that you have about whatever it is, a niche or the topic at hand, the more you have, the more that Google can index. I think it says around 4,342 characters, which is up because it was only 1,000 characters before. So
Did you want to show example of where the AI overviews are on
yeah,
Google? We do a search for
let's see.
World Music Day.
What is World Music Day? Question mark. That's not a question mark. How tall is a tree? That's not one of them either.
Is it because we're incognito that we can't see
It
it?
shouldn't be. What is Dogecoin? It really did trim back on these AI results. Why is the sky blue? Crazy. Let me see. I'll check on my blue sky blue. Yeah, same thing on my logged in. I guess they who is three-tone digital? Yeah, it was showing up before a
A
lot.
lot, yeah. So that kind of just shows the frequency is down on that.
That's crazy.
I did see it yesterday. I don't remember what I was Googling, but
How are you? Where is your NI, Google? Yeah, so I guess, what did they get? They just deleted it. So there you go. It's not showing as much at all anymore. Proof is in the pudding. Do you have anything to say about that? Yeah. So longer content, better. It's always better. I mean, this is like common sense stuff, right?
so yeah, I guess just a highlight of that or a recap is really that the AI generated overviews, they are going to, when they do appear, they're going to be more detailed. And Google is reducing it, so you're not going to see it as often. And the biggest takeaway I wrote here, I'm just looking at my notes, that says all these pauses. As AI snippets become longer, companies may need to create more comprehensive content beyond what the overview covers. So that would be the takeaway from this article is when you are creating content, find ways to create more comprehensive content so you can try to come up within those snippets.
Yeah, and interlinking. Like we always say, go back to your old content, link it to your new content, so Google gets the idea of what's related while it's ingesting the content. All right.
Yeah, so that's it for this one. Just a recent article we wanted to.
Yeah, and it sure did scale back on the search results because we can't even find one. But the main topic, which is also the title of this stream, is the sign. So there's so many, I hate these ads that pop up here. What is this bad sign that this is talking about? There's 2 Google articles here. Why is Google crawling your site or pinging it a sign that something is amiss? Well, there's 2 reasons. I was going to go over the first one. So it's about endless content, which is something that I've dealt with on a site recently. And it's about content that is endless. It's infinite. So say there's like a calendar on your site and each page has a calendar day. So it'll be like yoursite.com/calendar/the date, and that has a page. And under that, maybe there's a pagination, which is like page 1, page 2, page 3. Google will go in there not knowing anything about the content. It'll not even if there's an event on this calendar, it'll index these pages. It'll say, what's the calendar month? What's the day? What's underneath there? Also, there's sometimes hours or lists within these calendar. So this endless or infinite Google ping will index all of these pages, and it really lowers the content worth of your actual site because it's indexing hundreds of thousands or even millions of pages that don't really exist, but within the plugin that you're using, mainly in this case would be like the event calendar. or similar ones, pages are being created and it's still being indexed. So one way and one day to prevent that would be to block those bots from accessing certain parts of your site. And that's done in a file called a robots.txt, or you can do it in other programs like Google Tag Manager. But in robots.txt, you can pretty much say, allow certain Google bots to access A, B, and C on my site and disallow them to access, what are the head letters? D, E, F. So you would pretty much say, you can look at this, Google, but don't look at these things. And don't look at anything underneath these things. So like event calendar and certain days. There's other ways to do it too. You can manage these indexing rules inside of hosting if you have something like WordPress, WP Engine, or Kinsta, or you can manage them in a plugin. So like Yoast SEO has some settings. I think Rank Math probably, because they're a little more advanced than Yoast. But these are ways that you can prevent this endless type of sign. And the sign would be if you go on to Google and you look into your search console or your analytics, and there's way more pages on your site than you actually have and utilize. That's a sign that you should be preventing access to those pages because they're just low quality, low content, and they ain't helping you. Tony's tip.
Yeah, and I would also say the Search Console would be where you would go and notice all of these unfamiliar URLs being pinged or indexed. There's been situations where we've seen sites that have thousands of these very unfamiliar URLs being pinged, and it's a sign that something's going on with your website that you might not see visually, but it's happening in the background and it's negatively impacting your site. So a lot of the times the signs may not be super visible, but if you do have Search Console and you look at the data closely, it will show you. It won't be as visible as like front end looking at it, but it will show what's happening within the back end and what's currently something that you can't see, but is impacting Google.
Yeah, and a lot of these, where you just said about there's pages that are being indexed, it doesn't just happen on event calendars, it happens on all sorts of things. Pagination is one of them, but also canonical URLs, which have to do with translations on a site. There can be, if you think about one page can have a multitude of pages, really it's exponential in terms of if there's an error in that code, there could be an exponential addition of pages, or at least telling Google there's more pages and there's more pages and there's more pages. There's 8 translations of this page, and then on that page it says that there's 8 translations of this page, and you can see how it can grow. And all these things get indexed, and at the end of it, you have a multitude of pages that shouldn't even be indexed that are competing with your pages that should be indexed. So you're competing against yourself, which is never a good game to play.
Yeah, so there are some tips that Google put in the article. So if you're seeing any of these like odd URL structures and things like that being constantly indexed on your site, you have to identify the vulnerability. So you have to see where it's coming from. And usually a web developer can help get to the point of identifying where the issue is. If it's hidden somewhere within a plugin of a plugin, where the malware is.
And even before that, before we get into these solutions, the other part of this is that hacking part, the malware. So we only went over the infinite content, but hacking too, obviously, like this article is based on hacking. So really these two can be related, whereas like can get hacked and then generate infinite pages. But a lot of the times what they're talking about here, let me just scroll up a little bit, is, let's see, Google crawling your site a lot. So it could happen with these. Okay, why is it not hacking? Why is Google hacking me? Why is Google keep pinging? Well, it could be because of those millions or thousands of pages that they shouldn't belong, or the site has been hacked and there's other stuff that's going on that Google is like, what's going on here? Things are changing. And I was talking about this last night, and we're saying that the best hacks, because people think of hacks and you're like, well, my site doesn't have whatever. It's not upside down. It's not broken. But the best hacks are the ones you don't notice. And there's tons of sites out there that are hacked and don't know it. It means they're using your email server, pinging out emails. They're coming in between your contact forms, using your contact form to send out emails. We see it all the time. And there's
Yeah, I've
no,
seen it within like blog posts and then hidden to the visible eye, but even so clever to adjust the style. So if you just like highlight under a paragraph, you don't see anything. If you highlight within the editor, there's some like code there that's hidden.
yeah, there's a
We've
word.
been getting a lot.
I think it's obfuscated code, or it's something that's like obfuscated, hidden. Oh, that's a different type. But like obfuscated code is inside of a file, and you don't know what it says, but it really does something like intercepts the page and redirects it or something. But you're right, it's hidden content can be generated. That's stuff that's on the visual end. But again, I think the best hacks are going to be ones that are invisible. You'll never see them.
Yeah, you need FTP access to get in there and look for it because it's not able to do it just with admin access.
Yeah, and it depends on the type of site. A WordPress site, you can use WordFence and stuff, but when it's other sites, sometimes you do have to bring down the file structure and do a scan on what's in there. Otherwise, you don't know. And props to the people that write hacks like these. We're not hackers. If anything, we're white hat. But you got to recognize talent when talents do. And the point of hacking is, again, to know, like, the person should never know that they're hacked. Why would they know? And then if they clean it, then you're all for naught, they would say. All right. So Google crawling it is a bad sign that something's going on. It could be one of these things: infinite content, too many pages that are related to things like event calendars. Trying to think of other stuff that has that. Mostly event calendars will generate these thousands of pages, or there's some issue going on. So anyways, back to that, the tips is identifying it, fixing it, and you can try it yourself. There's plugins out there, depending on the software. Like WordFence is for WordPress, but other ones I would suggest hiring a developer or someone that's experienced with finding.
Yeah, going back to number 2. So using WordFence, it will give you the scan and you can scan it. And it will send you it will pop up an alert and say, hey, are you sure you want us to remove this malware? I would say probably 50-50 chance that it will do it, maybe even less than that. But you got to be careful because it could break down the site. And I've done it where, of course, I had a backup and everything, but I've tried to use WordFence in certain cases and it didn't work, and it required further, more in-depth cleaning and things like that. But then on the other instance, depending on the severity of the malware and how it is on the site, sometimes it has taken it out. So it is a feature that WordFence has, but you just got to make sure you have a backup for your site before you even go down that road.
Yeah, always take a backup before you do major things. Yeah, WordFence will pretty much, it's a great plugin, but it'll scan and say, are these files exactly what's supposed to be here? And if not, it'll say, do you want to delete them? Do you want to replace them? Delete them if they're not necessary. Replace them with the actual files that belong there if they are necessary. But again, the level of the hack could actually delineate if at the end the site's going to work, because there could be things that were so far gone or whatever, or taken over, that it's impossible to get back. So back up your site.
Yeah, and we kind of already talked about the third point: clean the hacked content. So if it requires more cleaning, then there's going to be additional processes that have to be taken and looked through within the database. So it needs to be cleaned. You want to make sure to take a look at your security. And we mentioned this in a previous slide, but you can do things like replacing salts, looking at your users, seeing, is everybody who has access, should they have access? Do you have too many admins? Really taking a look at all of these things and making sure that all your plugins are updated so you don't leave your website vulnerable. That's really important, and making sure you have things like firewalls and things like that in place.
Yeah, and limit login attempts. It's its
Yeah,
own.
that's a really good one. You should always have that on your website because
Yeah.
they do a great job blocking people, especially out of the country and anything like that.
Yeah,
With the plug-in word fence.
you can block based on location or IP. Recently, just yesterday or the day before, remember, I got an email and from a client, and she said, "Is this you? Failed login 17 times on their admin site." I'm like, "No,
Watch a little
that's
TV.
not me." So
Go.
they know my email at least, but they're trying to get in as admin, but they don't know my long password, which is actually just password 123. But don't tell.
That is definitely not your password. Don't ever do your password 123. That's like what you don't do.
Admin 123. New pass.
So after you clean your website, harden the security, you always want to make sure you request a review from Google. So after all the cleaning's done, security is tightened up, request it. And how do you request it, Tony?
Yeah, I have.
I think it's right in search console.
This one? Web.dev.
So there's an actual security
I'm not logged in because I'm on a private.
where you would click on it and then review the request, and they'll go through your website and do a review to make sure that it is safe. Because if it's not, everyone's probably seen it. It alerts you and says this website's not safe.
Go over there, wrong. We're on a live stream right now. We'll talk about it after. Go. 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 We tell them.
Important to put your first grader in check at all times.
Yeah. Get out of here. Now we're on a live
The dad voice. Now.
The other day I used my dad voice in the car and then
we all started laughing because Tony doesn't really ever yell or anything.
Yeah.
I'm usually the crazy one yelling or talking loudly. So when Tony does it, we all look at him like.
But in the middle of it, I was making weird faces. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and I was like, which didn't help anything. I get my point across without being loud. Just use the belt.
It's the Puerto Rican side of me. I don't know any other way to do it. My voice just carries when I'm making a point.
What was I going to say about requesting? Oh yeah, so sometimes requesting a review, it can take. I've seen it be almost instant, a couple hours. Not so much the results on the Google page, that's going to take a while to get back if they've been taken away. But once you request a review, usually within 24 hours, that they'll scan the site. It used to be like this, at least. They scan the site, look to see if the malware or whatever it is still exists, and gives you an email back and says it's fixed or it's not fixed. If it's not fixed, you got to go through the process and still try to figure out what's going on. So that's the sign.
So always look for the signs, and some places you can go that will help find that in Search Console, Analytics, and just look at where the users are going, what's happening when it comes to the crawling information, and just pay attention to the URLs. And if there's something that's unfamiliar, you might have to take a deep dive. So
yeah, deep dives are fun.
Signs are everywhere.
The signs.
Just gotta open your eyes and see it.
Yep.
It's like right now, there's a sign that it's gonna rain.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the pool too, but oops.
Well, at least it'll be good for the garden.
Yeah. What other songs? Do you remember the other songs that Asa Base had? Something about a baby. She wants a baby. She wants another baby. All she wants. All that she wants is another baby. Right?
Oh,
and they had another one too.
I didn't take it as like a literal baby. Like I thought it was like a relationship. Like
I think she actually wants a baby.
Oh, really?
Too at that. So I don't know.
I guess it, depending on what you're thinking in your head, you know what I mean? It's all subjective, I guess.
I want a baby too. So, I heard that song in middle school, so maybe not. They had another one too. whatever. They're gone. Like they just made their money and then I think just kind of left the earth. Aren't they from Australia? Is that what I'm thinking? Is correct?
I don't know. For a while there, I thought Ace of Base was the same as Alanis Morissette. I feel like they're the same people.
No, they're from Sweden. I thought they were from
like
Australia.
clearly my memory's shot.
Yeah, Alanis Morissette's back in the news. We won't talk about what she's in there for.
Oh
right?
no,
You should look her up.
I will.
Yeah, it's not bad for her, but she has things to say about the industry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll have
I like
to
her
take a look.
music. Yeah, let's see what else we're talking about here. The AI snippets. What's big in website design trends?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. You know, those articles that come out like, oh, what's happening with web design? And there's everybody's opinions on where it's going to be. I think it's pretty obvious what everyone's saying, all the experts are saying, that there's going to be even more of an immersive and personalized experience now with the use of AI. So looking at that, really the biggest focus is going to be the user and giving the user what they want. So creating dynamic content that will be using AI as a way to kind of create this content and make it so specific to what they're searching for and what they want. So it's pretty interesting. In 2024, you should see, we've already seen it, AI generated images and having that incorporated throughout the site. But what's your take on that, Tony, the whole AI generated design?
I mean, for like layouts and stuff, I've seen AI generate really cool layouts, but they all look like AI generated layouts. I'm not into the AI generated imagery and stuff like that.
Yeah,
For a website, just because it's so obvious and it really looks like the site is AI and fake and spam or whatever. So I'm not into it. But when you were saying that, I was thinking, imagine, or I don't think it does happen right now, but if ChatGPT itself had a cookie that follow you around, so on sites you could personalize it just based off of whatever ChatGPT has in their OpenAI cookie. Meaning, like, I go to a site, it queries almost like it queries like Google, and it says, "Who is this person?"
Mm-hmm.
Generally, it'd be cool and way privacy and evasive. If is that the word? Invasive. If it knew who you are, to be like, "Hey, welcome to the site, Tony."
Yeah, that would be super personalized, and it could get there. And in certain cases, it is there, creating dynamic content based on location and things like that. But I think the biggest takeaway for website design is something that has carried over from previous years, but having a super hyper focus on that first part of your website, the navigation bar, the hero image, headlines, creating animations or videos, and text that is structured where a visitor at any point in time in the first few seconds will know exactly what your website is all about. And that is the goal for any site, and to be able to give it straight as soon as they hit the web page. So
give it straight.
Immediately convey it to the best with visuals and layouts and things like that. But it'll be interesting to see where design goes. I remember we were watching that YouTube video. It was a little too wild for me, but it was about website design, and it was like saying that the graphics being used, like very bubbly. Remember we were watching?
Yeah, it was all bold stuff, 3D, light wave type
round, textured things. And I really think that's based on industry. Obviously, that's not everything, but they were showing examples of certain sites that were doing this new type of imagery where as soon as you look at it, it invokes a feeling. So very textured looking things that are moving and things like that to kind of bring people into a brand. A little too far out for us, but
yeah, I mean, I like some of it. It is dependent on the industry, of course, and usually we get industries that are not about this type of flashiness. We want
Simple.
to convey a message and convey to their customers and their products, their services, not craziness, things spinning around. It's utilize it when you can and when you should, but not all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
welcome to our insurance company. It's like things. That was my like 40 thing going on. Should I wear my glasses from now on? I feel like I can see better, which is the point of glasses. So I've been kind of this whole
Yeah,
time.
we should have a glasses day. I'll wear my glasses too, and we'll see.
Yeah.
It is better for your eyes.
Yeah, I gotta start. You want to hear a funny story? I went to the eye doctor, and
Oh, I know the story.
he said, "What did he say?"
Oh, you're gonna mess it up.
Story sucks. He said,
I
"We'll talk about my glasses."
Oh, you want me to say it?
No, I think I got it. And I was like, "Oh, well, you prescribed these glasses, but I have to have them close to me. Like the laptop has to be close or the phone, and according to me at least, in order for it to actually work. And what can you do? You know, what can you do, doc?" So I'm sitting there, and he said, "How far is your laptop?" And to me, I thought that he was trying to see like how I'm using the laptop so he can identify the problem. I'm like, I mean, I can go back home. I think I could be back in about 20 minutes. I didn't know he was talking about how far is it on my lap or something like that. He was just busting up laughing. And I was like, what? He's like, why would I want you to go get your laptop? He's really funny. He's like a funny, what is it? Optometrician?
Something like that.
He's hysterical. He should be a comedian. I can't imagine everybody else must be laughing too. Does he make you laugh? He's both.
Yeah, he's just a funny guy.
David Wheeler. Is that his name?
All
right, maybe. Shout out to David. Anyways, he was like
maybe
laughing. He's like, why would I want you to go get your laptop? I'm talking about how far it is on your lap. I was like, oh my God.
Now everyone picture this, Tony getting his car and driving all the way back to get his laptop to show, it must have been early in the morning that you were thinking that. You didn't get your coffee yet or something.
No, I was probably caffeinated.
You bring it back to the eye doctor and they're like, yeah, thank you. Now I can see how far it is.
I know, just to show him an example.
It's so weird. It's so funny.
But then he said that he tells that story to other people.
Yeah, but the funniest part about this is I went in for my eye exam and I brought up the same exact story and he didn't remember it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I know you see a lot of patients, and this is like really funny.
It was funny to me. So I guess things aren't that serious.
So that's
like, please confirm.
it might be really funny at the moment, but obviously other people have other things going on. And your story might be pushed in the back.
Whatever. I'll remind every time I go in there, I'm gonna be like, remember me?
It's
the guy that whatever. That was funny. What was that about that? Oh, the glasses. Yeah. So now I can see better with glasses, reading. That's what they're for. They feel fine on my face. It's just remembering like to do it, you know? So
now we know how you feel about your glasses. That's good. Everyone can go on about their day now.
Their life.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna talk about your pie?
Oh, okay. I guess. So we grew some rhubarb in the garden, which has so many great health benefits. You know, I didn't. This is new to me. I've never really eaten it, but it's known to make rhubarb pie. So my brother sent me this recipe, rhubarb cobbler pie. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try this. So we were making it. And, you know, if you know what rhubarb is, it's like a really thick stalk and it's green and you like cut it up and it said to put it in the pot and boil it with a little water and sugar and things like that. So as I'm cooking it, I'm like, this is going to be the grossest pie ever. It's just like,
Okay.
what am I making? The girls were
Vegetable
laughing at me.
pie, vegetable pie.
Yeah, they were saying vegetable pie. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm looking at it, starting off, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm going to throw in the towel. Like, this is going to be gross, you know? So then I was like, no, let me stick to the recipe. The recipe seemed a little bland, so I was nervous about it. And I saw other recipes and they had more things in it, like strawberries, and to really spice it up. But I was like, let me just continue on. And at least I say I try the recipe. If it's a bust, then I won't do it again. So, anyways, long story short, we went through the process, and I think I have a picture of the pie.
You should pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it.
I'll just do
The
it.
pie came out amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
And it was very surprising how good it tastes. And I just thought at the end of it, like me reflecting on it, and I'm like, you know how many times, like, I think other people can relate. You are in the creating process and you're starting and you're looking at it and it's not done yet, but you're just like second guessing and you're just like, oh, this is not going to work. Like, so the lesson really is to be able to trust the process. And even though you can't see it at the moment, it will have a good result most of the time. For this case, it did. So this is the pie. So
it was like apple pie, but better.
Yeah, it was really. Let me turn the sound down. That was me screaming because I was so
Cobbler
excited.
pie.
Yeah, so that's the cobbler pie. The girls, everyone liked it. It started looking like this. This is when I was doubting the process. So I was like, what is this gonna taste like? It looks weird. But really, it turns into this like really flavorful, almost like an apple pie, but it has a little tang to it. Yeah, and then this was the top of it, and I was like, oh,
yeah, that looks like potato salad inside of
a. Yeah, I did modify a little bit the recipe. If anyone's interested in making it, just send us a note. I'll send it to you. I was happy with it. Everyone loved it, and it's a nice little recipe that we're gonna carry along.
We should put out like a recipe section, 3-Tone Digital / recipe.
If it is something that we like to try new recipes, then
yeah, I'm not good at recipes. I feel like I do cook pretty good stuff, but following a recipe, forget it. I don't trust the process. I go about 25%, and then I have my own process. And I'm like,
yeah. And sometimes it's okay to make minor updates to things. Like the girls were like, add more cinnamon, add some brown sugar toppings. I'm like, okay, that can only help.
Add some hot sauce.
No, that would not help. So
you try it. Should try it out. I put hot sauce in my coffee a couple months ago. It was actually better than one would think. That sounds insane, but it's actually pretty good. Tabasco. Why did I do that day?
I think it was hot sauce day or something.
Probably.
And you were like,
live it up.
Let's start out early.
One thing, not to talk about spicy, but I'm out of hot sauce completely now. Besides that generic hot sauce.
Maybe it's a sign.
No, it's not a sign. We have to go get more hot sauce. But I ran out of also the spicy ketchup.
I didn't even know we had that.
Yeah, but I've been hiding it. It's so good. Oh my god. I put it on rice the other day, which sounds like a crazy meal. It was cold. Doesn't matter. Oh, it was so good. But now we're out. And the Pepper Palace, it was at the mall down in Albany, closed down. So gotta find a new Pepper Palace. I heard there's another one, and get my garlic. It's called Angry Garlic hot sauce. So good. I'm gonna get multiple bottles. I need a sign.
I think this is a sign to wrap it up before Tony goes into more hot sauce stories.
Yeah. So let's play us out. Thanks for joining us. And if you have malware or you need us to check to see if things are going on your site that look weird, you get pinged a lot, or the traffic is down, whatever it is. We have experience in so many little facets of web design, even IT, and web development. So feel free to contact us and we will get the ball rolling.
Yeah, we're natural troubleshooters. That's what most of our roles consist of, being a web developer, is figuring out what the issue is and fixing it. So
yeah, it's like a puzzle. You jump in, start solving. Detective.
And,
It's
even,
like a-
and even if you want to tackle it yourself, but needs just to bounce some ideas off, you can reach out to us too.
Exactly. And if you know where the garlic hot sauce is, contact us. All right, I'm gonna put the pizza bases
Or more rhubarb pie recipes.
I know,
Or other things you can make with it, because all I really know is pie. So
Yeah.
has any secrets.
Didn't we do something with it? Like the first time? We were just
Yeah, I just created my own little recipe.
Oh, yeah.
I put in like some salad, like bean salad.
Yeah, which was pretty good.
Yeah,
Sour.
yeah.
All right, everybody. Enjoy your Friday. We'll see you tomorrow for weekend edition of Read the Movie.
Enjoy your Friday.